weeks. Why did Europe not seem to believe or react fast enough?
I think everybody believed that an invasion was likely or possible, but as many EU leaders have said, including Emmanuel Macron of France, as long as Vladimir Putin is talking, war isn't happening. And so every side in the West, whether it was the US or EU leaders or the institutions in the EU or the various other multilateral sections where there was discussions with Russia, hoped that diplomatic efforts could prevail because nobody wants armed conflict. As we know, NATO is not even going to engage from a combat perspective in Ukraine, and nobody wanted to see what we've seen over the past few hours in Ukraine. I don't think anyone didn't believe, but at the same time, I have to say there was still a lot of shock this morning here in Brussels, and I think globally at just what happened, and just what ensued pre-dawn from Vladimir Putin's Russian army.
OK, Shona Murray, thank you for that update on that emergency EU Leaders Summit from Brussels. Thank you so much. European nations are showing a united front in support of Ukraine. Now, in the UK, Prime Minister Boris Johnson had strong words for Vladimir Putin, repeating that the Russian president must not be allowed to succeed.
Now we see him for what he is, a blood-stained aggressor who believes in imperial conquest. Now we have a clear mission, diplomatically, politically, economically, and eventually militarily. This hideous and barbarous venture of Vladimir Putin must end in failure.
Now, during a national address, German Chancellor Olaf Scholz condemned Russia's invasion, calling it the worst conflict in Europe since World War II.
This is an attempt to forcibly shift borders within Europe, perhaps even to wipe an entire country off the world map. We must ensure that this conflict does not spill over to other European nations. I am in agreement with the American President and our European friends that we must prevent this with everything at our disposal.
And from Berlin, Kate Brady told us that Chancellor Scholz is determined for united Western response.
Well, of course, the first step now is for this new draft of EU sanctions that we're expecting to have confirmed at least this evening anyway. And so it seems right now that Scholz is still very much keen to take a united response with Western allies, with European, other EU nations and, of course, NATO allies as well. But as we know, sorry, the wind's picking up a little bit here in Berlin this evening. As we know, the NATO... there are preparatory measures now underway for potential deployment of NATO response forces. And of course, Germany does in fact lead the NATO task force in Lithuania. Right now there's about 950 Bundeswehr troops there, member troops from Germany's military. And so we heard earlier today from Germany's defense minister as well, saying that the Bundeswehr, Germany's military, is now on national alert. But of course that would be a united response with NATO allies. What still seems to be off the table, however, is Germany potentially sending any kind of defensive weapons to Ukraine. And that debate is rumbling again at the moment, and there is going to be a special session of Parliament here on Sunday, and that is going to be, of course, debated in the Bundestag this week. And we're also expecting to see another speech as well from Olaf Scholz himself on Sunday.